Welcome to Grandmommy's Kitchen. Now I know it doesn't look like I'm in the kitchen. I'm actually seated around the counter since I'm not cooking today. But I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you because remember, at Grandmommy's house, food is all about love and everybody's welcome. So welcome to Grandmommy's Kitchen. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about one of my favorite topics, the Psalms. You know, I love the Bible. I love the Word of God. It's just so exciting. It's powerful. It's full of life. It's energetic. You know, it's a book that was written thousands of years ago and over many, many years. But it's not just print on paper. It is alive. And I hope that while you have some extra time at home these days, that you're spending more time reading it or looking into it. And the Psalms are a great place to read. Now, something I learned several years ago is a tradition of taking your age on your birthday. You take your age and you add a year, and that psalm number becomes your psalm for the year. For instance, I'm 67, so Psalm 68 is my psalm for the year. So over the years, I would take that psalm and I would read it through the year. Several of them I actually got memorized, and I would just have it with me for that year. So it's a way to study and a way to be more interested in the Word and to begin learning the Bible. And I have found many times that that particular psalm, wow, it really spoke to my life that year, to things that were happening and things that were going on. And so I give you that little tip if you're looking for a way to read or study in the Bible. There's one thing you can do. Take your age plus one and make that psalm your psalm for the year. Then at your next birthday, go up one. I think you'll find it really interesting. And you know, everybody can carry their Bible with them on their smartphone. The YouVersion Bible app is absolutely free to download. And man, you can choose all kinds of translations to find one that you like. You can pick out a reading plan. They will send you a verse of the day to help you keep going. They'll track how many days in a row you've been in the Bible. It's really kind of fun, but it's a way to have it with you all the time. I use that one. I have several Bibles at home I use, and sometimes I go online because I'm looking for something a little more to add to what I've already been reading. But I just love it. And it gives me life, it gives me hope, it gives me strength, gives me energy, because that is where you find the truth. There's a lot of talking going on in the world from many different avenues, but the truth will always be the truth, and that's God's truth, and you will find it in the Bible. So I want to share with you a little bit of my psalm for this year, which is 68. Now, I'm working on memorizing, but I'm just, starting to get the hang of that, so I'll say some and I'll read a little bit too. But something I want to mention before I start is the psalm talks about God and about His name. And His name, they have discovered over the last few years by uncovering many ancient Hebrew scripts, because the Bible was written in Hebrew, even the New Testament was. And they're finding pieces of these scrolls from the New Testament all over the place in just different locations, and they just kind of have been shuffled away, and no one had studied them thoroughly, and most of us never thought they existed, especially the New Testament. We thought it had been written in Greek, but it actually was written in Hebrew. And so they have found God's name, and it's actually Yahovah. Now, many of us had used the name Jehovah, but there are no J's in Hebrew. It's actually a Y. So it's Yahovah. And when you break it down into syllables in the Hebrew language, you'll know that it makes perfectly good sense, because here's what the three syllables mean. Yahovah means He was, He is, and He will be. And that's exactly a description of who He is. So in places where it says to call upon my name or His name, or where it says God with the capital G, I like to put in the name Yahovah. So you'll hear that when I share a little bit of the 68th Psalm with you. Now, the Psalms are written by King David. Some were written by Moses. In fact, if you recently watched the Ten Commandments movie that was on the week before Easter, during the night that the death angel was going throughout Egypt, Moses in his dwelling was singing different words, and those words were actually from Psalm 91. I recognized them, and it was like, oh my goodness, that's what he's singing, Psalm 91, and that's a psalm that Moses wrote, so it made perfectly good sense. They put a lot of excellent detail in that movie. So, this particular psalm was written by David, and many psalms, most of them were actually written to be sung. So I am going to share just a couple verses of Psalm 68. It starts out by saying, for the leader, so that would be the leader of the musicians, for the leader, a psalm of David, a song. Let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let those who hate him flee from his presence, drive them away as smoke is driven away, like wax melting in the presence of a fire. Let the wicked perish in the presence of Yahovah. But let the righteous rejoice and be glad in Yahovah's presence. Yes, let them exult and rejoice. Sing to God, sing praises to his name. Extol him who rides on the clouds. By his name, Yahovah, and be glad in his presence. Yahovah is in his holy dwelling, is a father to orphans and a defender to widows. Yahovah gives homes to those who are alone and leads prisoners out into prosperity. But rebels must live in a parched wasteland. Yahovah, when you went out at the head of your people, when you marched out through the wilderness, the earth quaked and rain poured from the sky at the presence of Yahovah. Oh, he's mighty. I love his name. So take some time today to pick out your psalm and just read through it. Maybe write it on a sheet of paper and keep it where you can look at it from time to time. But try to read it every day. You will find it very encouraging. Thank you for joining me in Grandmommy's Kitchen. Now please remember to like and share. Also, remember there are 40 videos with recipes where I am cooking. So if you're looking for something quick and easy for dinner, something yummy, some comfort food, look through those recipes and see what you can find. Let me know what you've tried and what you like if you have any questions. I enjoy spending time with you because remember, at Grandmommy's house, food is all about love, whether it's food for the body or food for the soul. Food is all about love, and everybody's welcome. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.